Methods of navigation. There are 3 common methods of navigation. 1. Map reading is a common method used, particularly in developed areas. Maps and aerial photos may be used when landmarks are clear. 2. Using a compass in conjunction with maps and aerial photos is wise in areas without good landmarks. 3. Navigation by dead reckoning is common in areas where landmarks are non-existent or inadequate. This method combines plotting and recording of a series of courses, measured by distance and direction from a starting point. It is important to stay alert and observe all unusual landmarks. Difficulties in navigation may occur for several reasons. Some of these include: when you're lost in the woods. The most important thing to remember if you find yourself in this situation is not to panic. First, treat any injuries within your party. Next, establish that your basic needs are met. These include heat, shelter, water and food. Then consult your map and compass and try to recognize or remember landmarks you may have passed. To determine how many hours of daylight are left, fast the sunan extend your arm towards it. Bend your wrist inwards and place your fingers just below the sun. Disregarding your thumb, count how many fingers separate the sun from the horizon. Each finger will represent 15 minutes. If it is nearing dark, build a shelter and fire that is on high ground and out of the wind. Have a snack and a hot drink and get some rest. Don't waste precious energy by trying to find your way in the dark. During daylight hours it is important to find a way to signal to others. A fire is best. Be sure to find a means with which to carry water. If you must move, be sure to leave markers that searchers can follow. Signals. A fire is the safest method to use when signaling for help. The smoke is easily spotted during the day and the flames by night. 3 signal fires laid 30 m, 98 feet, apart and lit when an aircraft passes is a good way to indicate your distress. The Morse code emergency signal is SOS, and may be sent with a flashlight and consists of 3 dots followed by 3 dashes followed by 3 dots. The dashes should be twice as long as the dots. Messages or signal letters may be drawn in the snow. A signal mirror is also a very effective method used. Flash the mirror along the horizon regardless of whether a plane is in view. Wilderness survival, food and water. Finding food and water. In a wilderness survival situation, it is possible to live for extended periods of time on little or no food. Research shows that a healthy individual can survive on 500 calories a day with no side effects, and with plenty of water and a comfortable resting place can live approximately 3 weeks without food. During cold weather or periods of heightened activity, more food is required to maintain a normal body temperature. Water is much more important. 2 to 3 cups of water are required each day to stay healthy. It is wise to conserve the water in your body by reducing activities that may promote water loss. Finding water during the summer months is quite easy. Running water such as springs or streams in isolated areas is generally safe for consumption, but be aware that water in stagnant areas such as sloughs and ponds may carry disease and should either be boiled for a minimum of 3 minutes, or iodine 9 drops per quart or halazone tablets added. It is wise to carry a water purification pump with you. This allows the hiker to make use of stagnant water in any situation, and it is not necessary to carry water with you. In areas where no surface water is available, dig into damp soil and allow this muddy water to settle and become clear. Water may also be found on the dew of plants, by collecting rainwater or in fish juices. During the winter months it is wise to look for water under ice. Melting ice as opposed to snow is more fuel efficient. Remember that hard-packed snow will yield more water than light, fluffy snow. Do not eat snow as it tends to dehydrate the body. Finding food in the wilderness may prove slightly more difficult, but by no means impossible. Try and sustain with natural foods before using your emergency survival kit rations. If water is not readily available, try to limit your food consumption to carbohydrates, as proteins use more water to digest. Keep in mind that all fur-bearing animals and grass seeds are edible, and that there is more food value in the roots of plants than the greens. Extra care should be taken when consuming seafood. Try to avoid mussels during the summer months as they contain certain toxins which are not present during the winter. Sea urchins, a prickly purple or green sea creature, may be consumed by breaking them open and eating the red or yellow eggs inside. Steam snails, clams and limpets. Frogs, snakes, lizards and birds are also edible. Remove the head, entrails and skin before adding them to the pot. We also recommend packing products from Survival Storehouse Australia to save on snails and limpets. Poisonous plants. Care should be taken when consuming any unknown plant in the wilderness. Avoid red and white berries, and plants resembling beans, melons and cucumber, as they are often poisonous. There are a large variety of mushroom species, most are edible but some are extremely dangerous and should be avoided unless you can positively identify them. Water hemlock is a particularly poisonous plant which is found in swampy areas of British Columbia. It grows up to 2 meters, with hollow roots and small white flowers. The dangerous baneberry plant grows up to 1 meter tall and produces small white flowers and white or red berries. Fishing and hunting. Setting snares, traps, nets and set lines will assist you in finding food to help with your survival. Trails are excellent places to set snares. Animal tracks offer information pertaining to the type of animal, its size and the direction it was headed. Following these tracks will often lead to waterholes and feeding grounds where you may use your traps or snares. Wilderness survival, first aid and health tips. When journeying into the wilderness, it is important to carry a complete first aid kit and book. It is also wise to take a first aid course. A good diet, cleanliness and appropriate clothing will lower the risk of harmful situations. Disease, infection and often, insect bites can be avoided when maintaining a proper diet. It is important to bathe daily, but if this is not possible, be sure to wash your hands frequently. Soap can be made using ashes and animal fat or by boiling the inner bark of a pine tree. Construct a toothbrush by mashing the end of a green twig. When setting out for your journey, remember to pack a wide range of clothing and extra footwear. This concludes Part 2. Please check back soon for Part 3. The First Aid Overview. From the team at Elite Survival Training Australia, we thank you for your support and hope you enjoy this mode of information.